Sumuko sa pulisya si Edgar Matobato bago pa man maihain sa kanya ang warrant of arrest na inilabas ng Davao Municipal Trial Court. Sinamahan siya ni Senador Antonio Trillanes. At mula sa Quezon City may ulat on the spot si Lima. Sam?
Ivana, sa kustudiyan ng Philippine National Police si Edgar Matobato. Ito yung matapos sumuko si Matobato kanina sa pamamagitan ni Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. Alas 9:30 ng umaga nang makarating nga dito sa Camp Crame si Matobato. Sumuko si Matobato kasunod ng inilabas sa warrant of arrest ng Davao City MPC dahil sa hindi pagsipot sa kanyang arraignment noong Martes para sa kasong illegal possession of firearms. Kasama niya sa buong proseso si Senator Trillanes. Kasama namang nag-receive kay Matobato sa NP Chief Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Formal din siyang binasahan ng kanyang Miranda rights at saka pinusasan. Sumailalim sa booking procedure si Matobato sa Criminal Investigation and Detection Group NCR. Kinunan siya ng fingerprints at mugshot. Pinagsila pa naman siya ng booking seat ng pulisya. Sumailalim din siya sa medical exam ng SOCO. May punto nga Ivan na tumawag pa ng dagdag ng mga doktor matapos makitang may impeksyon ang malaking sugat nito sa likod. Ayon kay Senator Trillanes, nakuha daw ito ni Matobato nung tinorture siya ng mga kasamahan sa DDS. Naoperahan na ito noon pero kailangan daw ulit linisin ang sugat. Sa ngayon nga, Ivan, ay inaalam pa natin kung saan talaga eksakto idedetene ngayon si Matobato, kung dito nga ba sa CIDG-NCR o ilipat sa custodial center. Sabi naman ni Senator Trillanes, wala raw special treatment kay Matobato. Sa ngayon ay patuloy na minomonitor si Matobato dahil tumataas daw yung kanyang blood pressure. Ang kanyang abogado naman, sabi sa atin, ay susubukan magbayad ngayong hapon ng kanyang piyansa dito sa QCRTC. Ivan?
Sam, nung huli kong nakausap si Edgar Matobato, nagpahayag siya ng pagkabahala kung sakaling makulong siya. Pakiramdam niya hindi rin siya ligtas dahil kahit nasa loob siya mismo ng piitan, posibleng makuha daw siya ng mga gustong magpapatay sa kanya. Kung sakali, Sam, may preference kaya itong si Matobato kung saan siya makukulong at ano kaya ang may hiningi kaya siya na siguruhin na siya ay maging ligtas habang nasa kulungan?
Ivan, kanina si Senator Trillanes, yan yung hiniling. Yan lang yung natatanging hiniling niya kay PNP Chief de la Rosa na siguruhin yung kaligtasan ni Matobato. At kanina, Ivan, bago nga tumulak papunta dito sa Camp Crame si Matobato, ay nakausap natin sa doon sa Senado. Natanong natin sa kung kamusta ba siya, kung di ba siya natatakot. Kasi siyempre, ikukulong siya dito sa PNP, ilang miyembro ng PNP yung kanyang ilinawit doon sa Davao Death Squad. Ang sabi niya sa atin, handa raw siya sa kahit na anong mangyayari sa kanya ngayon dahil inialay na raw niya yung kanyang buhay sa Diyos para lang maitama yung kanyang mga nagawa daw noon. So Ivan, nakikita natin kanina na handa naman siya, medyo tumatawa-tawa pa nga siya nung pinoposasan siya dito, nung pinakausap siya ng mga polis, dumadaan doon sa proseso. Pero nakikita mo rin na medyo may sense ng kaba. May mga post na yung mukha niya medyo hindi mo malaman kung ano ba yung naiisip na kasi ang bilis ng mga pangyayari. At nandito siya ngayon sa loob ng CIDG. Kasama niya yung isang pare, no? Yung kanyang spiritual advisor. At pinapakalma kasi nga tumataas yung blood pressure. Ivan.
Maraming salamat sa iyo. Lima.
Handa raw i-turn over ni Senator Antonio Trillanes IV si Edgar Matobato sa PNP oras na matanggap nila ang arrest warrant para sa testigo. Naglabas na kasi ng warrant of arrest ang korte sa Davao City matapos hindi makadalo sa arraignment si Matobato para sa kaso niyang illegal possession of firearms. Pakiusap ni Trillanes, hayaan siyang mismo ang personal na magdala kay Matobato sa Camp Crame para i-turn over kay PNP Director General Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Yan ay para maiwasan daw ang gulo na pwedeng mangyari kung aarestuhin pa si Matobato. Dagdag pa ni Trillanes, walang intensyon na hindi dumalo sa arraignment si Matobato. Hindi raw siya nakapunta dahil hindi niya alam na meron pala siyang arraignment. Kahit ang abogado niya, hindi raw ito alam. Handa rin daw si Trillanes na bayaran ang piyansa para kay Matobato. Sa ngayon ay si Trillanes ang nangangalaga at nagbibigay ng proteksyon kay Matobato na nagpakilalang hitman ng Dimanoy Davao Death Squad.
Ako ang naghahawak ng kanyang custody and security So pwede niyong ipadaan sa akin yung warrant of arrest at ako na ang magpapaabot sa kanya para hindi niyo na kailangan hanapin pa at wala nang untoward incident.
Interpellation, tinutulungan ko pa eh. Sinabi ko pa nga sa kanya doon sa loob ng refectory, cool ka na, kaya mo, huwag ka mag-iinit dahil ganyan talaga, mahirap talaga. Eh pagkatapos nung tinago naman yun, ako napaka-unfair naman. Una pa, hindi ba sabi ko pa nga eh, I think it's just an oversight. I think it's just an oversight. Hindi sinasadya. Pero makita ko na talagang may mga testigo. Tapos nung lumapit, ang nag-trigger sa akin, umalis yung testigo, samantalang may order, huwag kang aalis, dahil andito pa yung mga yan. Alam nyo aalis na yan bukas. Eh bakit umalis? Dahil nagkalabasan na meron pa ng kaso. Eh siyempre, puputok na yan. You cannot help us all feel, si Lacson lang gusto niya, terminate na eh. Tigil na. Ito ko, ayoko. Ba't natin terminate to? Eh, sasabihin ng tao, tatago tayo. Eh, pero nung lumabas nga yung note na sabi nga, dinala because mako-compromise our security, eh dapat nagpaalam. Dapat nagpaalam. Kasi kung nagpaalam, at least magkakaalaman, di ba? At saka, andun ako sa oversight lang yan. Sige na, nasan ba yung kaso, pakita nyo. Eh nung pagka 1+1, naging 2 eh. Diba?
Pero sir, pwedeng mag-decide kayo, sir, na i-terminate na dahil dun sa, sabi ng ibang kasama nyo, you were taken for a ride. Pero sir, ito'y tungkol kay Matobato. Kung nagsinungaling man siya, granted nagsinungaling, paano sir yung main reason para dito sa hearings, which is yung EJ ngayong
Ang nagdala kay Matobato sila eh. Ang hinahabol ko, kita naman yun, palagi ko inuulit yung gagawin ng committee, di ba? Hindi naman yun ang hinahabol ko eh. Pero ang lumabas, Matobato was the end all and be all for their case. Nung mag-i-implode na si Matobato, lahat sila sabi, to my mind as a lawyer, hindi ko dadalhin yung Davao group here. Sasabihin lang na, wala kami kinalaman dyan.
So paano yun? Ibig sabihin, hindi talaga yung EJK na nangyayari ngayon ang main purpose, kundi
Nila.
Davao at Duterte.
Duterte pa rin ang target eh. Ako, ang target ko, abay, teka, magpaliwanag nga kayo. Dala ko papakita ko sa inyo. Bayan by bayan, ito ang pinatay dyan. Ikaw ang provincial director. General De La Rosa, anong ginagawa mo din sa provincial commander na ito? Hindi siya gumagawa ng kanyang trabaho. Di ba? Doon dapat tayo pupunta para matigil, para mahinawan ang tao. Kung hindi yun ang pakay natin, ba't tayo nag-iimbestiga?
So sa tingin niyo po, Senator, may ibang agenda talaga?
Ang agenda talaga si Duterte. Ang problema naman doon sa presidente natin, napipikon siya. Sinasagot niya lahat. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, nadadapa ka sa sarili mong espada, mahimik ka na, huwag ka na magsasalita, gawin mo lang yung trabaho para matapos tayo. Sigurado may magsusulsul dyan laban sa akin. Hindi ginagawa na senador yun. Pero na siya presidente ganito, no? Pero mahal natin ang bansa eh. Kailangan sabihin natin dahil maraming issues sa foreign relations na napipigil siya. Mayroong mga issue na dapat natin pag-usapan.
Committee on Justice and Human Rights, this meeting is now in order, and I will ask Senator Lacson to convene his own committee.
On the part of the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, this hearing is hereby called to order.
Thank you, Ms. We call to order the hearing today on the Committee on Justice and Human Rights jointly with the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs after having suspended the hearing last 22nd September. This is a continuation of the resolutions and the privileged speeches made by several senators. There's a Senate Resolution number 9 by Senator Leila de Lima concerning the recent and rampant killings, extrajudicial killings, and summary executions, and to strengthen accountability of law enforcers. That's the highway upon which we are going to traverse in this investigation. At the same time, we have Senate Resolution number 151 by Senator Antonio Trillanes III on the alleged extrajudicial or summary killings purportedly committed by the Davao Death Squad, and in order to have the protection of people's basic human rights, and also in pursuance of the campaign against terrorism, drugs, and street crimes. The fourth. I'm sorry. You mean there are 4 of you? I stand corrected. Let the minutes reflect that Senator Antonio Trillanes is the fourth among several Antonio Trillaneses. Inasmuch as I am told by the committee secretariat that, and because of the motion made by Senator Leila de Lima, the Davao police are here. And these are the people that have been mentioned in various occasions by different sources, including the senators and including one witness here. We're happy that they have arrived, and let me just acknowledge some of the personalities here that have arrived, and we thank them. Good morning to everyone. First and foremost, the General De La Rosa, Ronald De La Rosa, and General Eleuterio of IAS, Internal Affairs. Is he here? Yes. And of course, Undersecretary Cui. I'm sorry, I should have acknowledged you first. Civilian authority being supreme over the police and the military. Undersecretary of Local Government, and of course, Director La Peñas of the La Peña of the Dangerous Drugs Law, Dangerous Drugs Board, and of course, PIDEA. I'm sorry, PIDEA, and Director Dante Gueran at the National Bureau of Investigation, Director. We also have Police Chief Superintendent Manuel Garlan of Davao, and of course, thank you again to Chief Superintendent Marquez, Augusto Marquez Jr., and also Bartolome Ricardo, Superintendent Bartolome Ricardo of the Philippine Army. And there will be other witnesses that will come over again. But before we call in the witnesses, those of you who have not taken your oaths, will you please stand up so that we can administer the oath? Comsec.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the inquiry? You may sit down.
Thank you. Let it be reflected that Colonel Bacardo and Police Chief Superintendent Manuel Garlan have taken their oaths of office. Not only oaths of office, but their oath here. Again, I reiterate the previous rules that we in the committee have agreed upon. There are 2 lecterns here for all the committee members to use upon recognition. The chair will give wide latitude to the questions given. You have 10 minutes to ask your questions. But the answers, we will give more than 10 minutes. It will not be counted. The answers will not be counted on your time, so that there is wide latitude. Again, I reiterate that if there is need for reiteration or to emphasize or to tell the whole story, the senator will be given, and I'm sure you have given me wide latitude previously to continue the questions. Let me just do this properly so everybody's on the same page. Having said all that, we want to make sure that the committee respect, and I know that all the senators will act with dignity and with candor and with the utmost discipline, so that we can make a very good account of the Senate investigation. The Senate is a very respected body. I don't think I have to bang the gavel and call anybody to order. If there is any disorder, I will bang the gavel so that we can suspend and we can deliberate in private so we can handle it correctly, as we do it in the Senate. Should be no sign of emotion or any sign or indication of parliamentary misconduct. Having said that, Mr. President, I would like to call on, I think I saw the chairman of the Senator De Lima raise her hand. Senator De Lima, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to everyone. Just a brief manifestation for the record for the for the sake of accuracy, because it was mentioned earlier by the good chair that I was the one, this representation was the one who moved for the issuance of an invitation and or subpoena to the members or the alleged members of the Davao Death Squad, as mentioned by the witness. Based on the transcripts of the September 15, 2016 hearing, which was the first hearing attended by Mr. Edgar Matobato, it was in fact Senator Trillanes who moved for the issuance of an invitation or subpoena. May I just quote? At any rate, I would first move that we subpoena Vice Mayor Paulo Duterte and all the members of the Davao Death Squad as mentioned by our witness, especially those belonging to the Philippine National Police and the NBI. And I just reiterated that motion during the last hearing of September 22. I just invited the attention of the body as to the invitation as requested by somebody else. So it turns out that it was, in fact, Senator Trillanes and not this representation who asked for such invitation. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I also make a manifestation?
Let me just address the manifestation made by Senator De Lima. I think I was very clear that all these witnesses were invited by virtue of the privileged speeches as well, which contain your motions. So I think I will stand by my previous remarks. I also want to make sure that when we call these witnesses, this is also by virtue of the resolution made by Senator Trillanes. Now, on the motion, is that which you say is a reiteration that was never carried last time because I think there was an objection by Senator Subiri. But let me just point out that the committee will later on talk among each other as to whether we will invite them. In the first place, insofar as the Davao Death Squad, there is no finding yet that the Davao Death Squad exists. There is a lot of talk, and that's why we brought them here to find out whether, in fact, there is an existence of a Davao Death Squad. So it is very difficult for the chair, and as well, I'm sure with my confrere, Senator Lacson, to, I hope I am not speaking out of turn, Senator Lacson, to invite the Davao Death Squad because nobody's going to come up and show up just like that. It's not been publicly incorporated in the Securities and Exchange Commission, and there's no effort on the part of anybody to say I'm a member of the Davao Death Squad, and therefore I cannot accede to that second motion unless there is testimony to prove the existence of the Davao Death Squad or admission by any of the witnesses here that such a squad exists and that the following people are members of the Davao Death Squad. Of course, all these statements would have to stand the scrutiny of investigation by the senators before we act. We act with judiciousness here and consideration for the rights of everybody, and we act in the interest of truth. So having said that, I now recognize Senator Cayetano. Go ahead, Senator Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, at magandang umaga po sa atin lahat. Mr. Chairman, you actually already stated what I wanted to manifest, that we are inviting people who have been mentioned. It is the tradition of the Senate that they can defend themselves here. It is the tradition of the Senate that in accordance with the Constitution, a person can confront his accusers. But to call them as members of the Davao Death Squad would be having an unfair conclusion at this time. So Colonel Dionisio Abude, retired of the Heinous Crime Division, SPO3 Las Cañas, who Mr. Matobato continually referred to, PO3 Ayaw and PO3 Jumawan, and others are here today because they were named and invited. If need so, Mr. Chairman, I'm willing to present them, not to attest to the truth of their testimony, but to give them a chance to refute the testimony, to refute or to accede to meaning to confirm or deny the testimony of Mr. Matobato. And lastly, Mr. President, as I have mentioned at the start of the hearing, the Duterte administration campaign against drug is not a campaign to kill people indiscriminately. not to get rid of criminals extrajudicially, but is a campaign to save the nation and save the generations from drugs. And these policemen will be able to testify how it was done in Davao. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Senator Lacson.
Would it be proper and correct to refer to them as members of the Heinous Crime Division? And I'd like to address that to Senator Cayetano or to Chief Superintendent Gerlan, who's the Director of Police Regional Office 11. Would it be the correct and proper nomenclature, if I may say so?
Your Honor, they are not all members of the Heinous Crimes Division, so we can refer them maybe as former members of Police Regional Office 11 in general.
Thank you.
You say former members. That means to say that they have either retired or have been reassigned to other duties
Yes, Your Honor.
outside
Sir.
of Davao City.
If I may give an accounting of the 23 invited, 22 are actually named because one has a double entry. Out of the 22, 12 are still in the active service, and 10 of these are still with the Police Regional Office 11. One is with the PSPG, and one is with the Aviation Security Group, and 10 have already retired, Your Honor.
So, in effect, how many are going to be presented here today?
We have 16 present, including 4 of the retired personnel, sir.
So 4 have retired, and of the 12, they are still in Davao or have been reassigned elsewhere?
10 out of the 12 still in the active service are in Davao, but they are present today, sir.
Thank you. All right, so that is very clear. These are policemen that have been assigned in various occasions, either in the Heinous Crimes Division or in other positions, and some of them have retired and some of them are still on duty, not necessarily with the Heinous Crimes Division. Having said that, in response to Senator Cayetano, I will give him the proper time, not necessarily as a presenter of the witness. In fact, one of the things that was worrying both Senator Lacson and myself, sino ba ang magpipresenta sa witness dito? Because ang nag-imbita ay sila Senator De Lima. Hindi naman nagbinta. Ang reference namin ay yung motion at saka yung privilege speech. Kaya kung hindi nila gagawin yun, I suppose kailangan isalang natin ang testigo at magtatanong tayong lahat ngayong araw na ito. At kung makakatulong si Senator Cayetano, kung gusto niyang mag-clarify or he may have some information that we don't have, I will give him wide latitude. Okay? Having said that, we shall now proceed to the hearing per se. I want to remind the COMSEC, because I asked him earlier that there were requests for pending documents, pending requests for documents. I want to know from him if those documents have all been submitted.
Yes, sir.
Can you please go to the microphone? Because I would want to have a senator say, we requested and that they were ignored.
Yes, sir. These documents have been submitted already. We have marked the documents annexes A to L.
All right, and these documents are available for every senator
Yes,
to produce,
for-
and they will be distributed accordingly. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they have not been distributed right now.
Yet. Sir,
What is yes?
Sir, we're working on.
What is
of the
yes?
address-
Have you distributed them or not?
Not yet. We're depending on the request of the senator, sir, because we have problems with the manpower and the facilities.
I
and the
don't think we
equipment.
have problems with the manpower. It's just a question of your execution of this. The Senate President has given me latitude for you to ask other members of other employees here in the Senate for you to be assisted, because I raised that point, because there are voluminous documents. So please make do.
Yes,
Be.
sir. Yes, sir. We'll do that.
All right, thank you. I will expect that in fairness to the senators, that they all are given the necessary documents that have been asked for, so that they can produce and study them and be the basis for questions and judgment. Having said that, we shall call our witnesses now. Is that okay with everybody? Are there any questions? Who shall we call first? Senator Cayetano, I heard you say a certain colonel in charge of the Heinous Crime Division. Or maybe I should ask Chief Superintendent Gerlan.
Sir, may we request that Former Senior Superintendent Abude will be the first to present.
Chief Superintendent Apuli,
Police Senior Superintendent Abude, sir.
active duty,
Retired already, sir.
retired. Abude, A-B-U-D-E. In Bisaya, it used to be Abode. It became Abude.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Abude. Committee Sec, please call the witness here and solicit up front here. You notice while we were waiting for him that we place a special podium for the special table for the witness so that nobody can say that he's being coached. Colonel Abude? Sergeant at Arms? I would require that a lawyer be provided him. If he has brought a lawyer, that would be appreciated if he would he would present himself. And
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Senator Trillanes, while we're waiting.
based on the agreement last hearing, the witness, Mr. Edgar Matobato, was supposed to identify the other officers.
We will come to that. We're not at that moment. If you will recall, there was no agreement. I merely said I did not dismiss him. Precisely, I did not dismiss him just in case we will lead him. When the proper time comes, if you request, after testimony has been made, that would be more timely than now.
Well, if we're going to introduce these officers one by one, then that would preempt the whole thing, Mr. Chairman.
Mr.
I believe
Chairman.
it would be proper for him to identify these officers first, again as another test of credibility. Then we can make them present whatever they want
Mr.
to
Chairman,
present.
I may help.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, before the hearing started, I asked if they have a lawyer, and I asked the lawyer about certain stipulations, and he said they're willing to stipulate that they know Mr. Matobato and Mr. Matobato knows them. So that will do away with the identification because they're willing to admit that. But I'd rather they say it themselves once they get there. The request is just that they be given the opportunity to testify freely before they're confronted. Just because there were 3 previous hearings wherein their names was continuously battered, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Senator Cayetano. You will recall that both the chairman of these committees talked about an executive session so that they can have a lineup. In fact, I asked Senator Lacson, and he graciously accepted at that time that the witness be there at the lineup. But in fairness to the policemen, we wanted that so that they would not be unnecessarily ridiculed or their families could be, put to embarrassment. These are people who serve, and as far as I'm concerned, the general rule is that they do their duty. They're given that latitude. So having said that, anyway, all these people have been mentioned. The names that you have invited have been mentioned, and if they have not been mentioned, then you can call the attention of the chair. And if we need to identify to let him be identified, then you can the chair will entertain a motion at that time.
Okay. Well, Mr. Chairman, anyway, the suggestion came from the chair, and I was just reminding. Yes, but if now Senator Cayetano is saying that yung mga na-identify ni Mr. Matobato na mga PNP officers ay umaamin, nakilala nila si Mr. Matobato, and that would do away with the identification process, and I would be satisfied by that. Pero sinasabi ko lang, Mr. Chairman, na when this idea was proposed, it was supposed to be a test of the credibility of Mr. Matobato. Ngayon, kung inaamin na ng mga police mismo, we should be fair enough to say na nagsasabi ng totoo si Mr. Matobato, Mr. Chairman.
Please do not put the cart before the horse.
Well, no, at least as far as the identification
the chair
of
would like to request Senator Trillanes not to make conclusions because that's why we have an investigation here.
But there is a stipulation, Mr. Chairman, at least as far as the identification of the officers are
in
concerned.
point of law, when a stipulation is made, that is to save time.
Yes.
It is not supposed to prove
The case.
No. I was not talking about the case, Mr. Chairman. I was talking about the identification. Kasi sinasabi yon na papuntahin natin yung mga pulis para po ma-identify as a test of credibility.
Well,
Ngayon kung inaamin na, then we should also be man enough to say that as far as that is concerned, then nagsasabi ng totoo si Mr. Matobato.
I will cut this conversation right away. There is no need for it. The proper time to ask the witness is that, are you the same person referred to by Mr. Matobato? And I will suggest that you ask that question and I will give you that right to do so. Pag humarap yung testigo dyan, tanay mo, ikaw ba yung sinasabi ni Matobato? Pag sinabi niyang oo, it doesn't prove anything except that the man exists. Tandaan natin, Davao yan. Makakakilala lahat yan. Kilala ng mga pulis yung mga hoodlum, kilala nila yung mga testigo. Nag-bury naman ako, kaya alam ko yung sinasabi ko rito. So, give me some latitude. Proceed, please. Is the witness here already? Would you please ask him to move forward?
CR, kinunan siya ng fingerprints at mugshot. Pinagsila pa naman siya ng booking seat ng pulisya. Sumailalim din siya sa medical exam ng Soko. May punto nga, Ivan, na tumawag pa ng dagdag ng mga doktor matapos makitang may impeksyon ang malaking sugat nito sa likod. Ayon kay Senator Trillanes, nakuha daw ito ni Matobato nung kinorture siya ng mga kasamahan sa DDS. Naoperahan na ito noon pero kailangan daw ulit linisin ang sugat. Sa ngayon nga, Ivan, ay inaalam pa natin kung saan talaga eksakto idedetene ngayon si Matobato, kung dito nga ba sa CIDG NCR o ililipat sa custodial center. Sabi naman ni Senator Trillanes, wala raw special treatment kay Matobato. Sa ngayon ay patuloy na minomonitor si Matobato dahil tumataas daw yung kanyang blood pressure. Ang kanyang abogado naman, sabi sa atin, ay susubukan magbayad ngayong hapon ng kanyang piyansa dito sa QCRTC. Ivan?
Sam, nung huli kong nakausap si Edgar Matobato, nagpahayag siya ng pagkabahala kung sakaling makulong siya. Pakiramdam niya hindi rin siya ligtas dahil kahit nasa loob siya mismo ng piitan, sumuko sa pulisya si Edgar Matobato bago pa man maihain sa kanya ang warrant of arrest na inilabas ng Davao Municipal Trial Court. Sinamahan siya ni Senador Antonio Trillanes. At mula sa Quezon City, may ulat on the spot si Lima Refran. Sam?
Ivana, sa kustodiyan ng Philippine National Police si Edgar Matobato. Ito yung matapos subuko si Matobato kanina sa pamamagitan ni Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. Alas 9:30 ng umaga nang makarating nga dito sa Camp Crame si Matobato. Sumuko si Matobato kasunod ng inilabas sa warrant of arrest ng Davao City MPC dahil sa hindi pagsipot sa kanyang arraignment noong Martes para sa kasong illegal possession of firearms. Kasama niya sa buong proseso si Senator Trillanes. Kasama namang nag-receive kay Matobato sa NP Chief Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Formal din siyang binasahan ng kanyang Miranda rights at saka pinusasan. Sumailalim sa booking procedure si Matobato sa Criminal Investigation and Detection Group and